Russell, and joining me today is Hedley Widdop, the Managing Director of Lion Selection Group. Hedley, it's great to see you. How are you?
Oh, it's great to have you here, Shay. Thanks very much for coming in.
Thanks so much for inviting me to your annual general meeting. It was great to get an insight to what Lion Selection Group is working towards, as well as the companies you're investing in. But I think it's time to put the camera on you and ask you a couple of questions around what Lion Selection Group has been working on lately. Now, Lion Selection Group invests mostly in micro caps. Now, this is a part of the stock market that comes with inherent risks. Why does Lion focus on this particular group?
It's the return opportunities. This is the part of the market where there's a hell of a lot of companies, and if you are to pick the good ones, then you open yourself up to huge amounts of upside. They're all cyclically aligned. So in a mining boom, all the mining stocks go up. BHP in the last mining boom went 3.8 times. So if you'd bought at 10, you end up with $38 worth. The best 20 juniors in the same period of time went up by an average of 230 times. So that's not to say you're going to pick the 20 best juniors across the market in any cycle, but it gives you the perspective of how much better you can do than the rest of the mining market when the cycle is lifting all boats. So that's what we're focused on. That's the reason why we go towards it.
So it's great to see that you've got that strategy, but when you invest in such young stage explorers, what is your intention to do with the company?
Yep. So this is a part of the market which is quite risky, and that's something we're well aware of. A lot of the investors that I talk to, retail people or even generalist funds and family offices, they're well aware of a huge amount of technical jargon which gets in the way of their understanding, and they just don't feel that they're comfortable making stock selections. Bit bamboozled, if you like. That probably is followed closely by a high awareness of a concentration of versatile entrepreneurs in the space. They don't know who to trust. And the third part is that they can see that there is a cyclical effect which overlays this whole sector, but they don't know how to read it. So they're very happy to be looking at the space, but they're very uncomfortable with making stock selections and investing and divesting decisions. So for a group like Lion, it kind of makes all of those things a superpower to be able to, I suppose, read those parts of the market, make the stock selections, and then make the investing and divestment decisions to align it with the cycle. So we're trying to make the most of those risks in order to say we're giving ourselves the best chance to capture those multiples on the way up.
Hedley, it's no secret that the market has been pretty depressed for explorers lately. So what does Lion do next from here, I guess?
Well, being a contrarian is the thing which all investors talk about and say they want to be. We monitor the mining cycle. We sold a huge amount of our portfolio in 2021 and 22. We went to 90% cash. I don't know any investors that made that same decision-making process and managed to get out. Since then, the market, particularly the micro caps in the resources space, have fallen tremendously. On a median value, they're down 75%. So the purchasing power of that cash has gone up 4 times. It's not to say that we've picked the bottom, because you never know when the bottom is going to occur in a market, but having seen that enormous bargaining power, if you like, come into the market, and very few other people investing alongside us, what we're doing now is investing, and we're getting ready, being contrarians, investing at the bottom of the market in order to ride that next boom up. We know there'll be another mining boom. There always has been, and the characteristic when you're going through the worst of the bust cycle is that people get despondent about there'll never be another boom. Well, that's rubbish, because for hundreds of years we've been seeing mining booms follow mining busts, and on it goes. But the other interesting thing, I think, is that if you look long-term at other similar cyclical phenomena, you can see money sloshing from commodities to equities to commodities to equities. There's charts of that ratio which go back over 100 years. And you can see it moves from one position to the other. It's probably driven by all sorts of macroeconomic factors and things like that. The last time we saw a huge swing towards commodities was being driven by the Chinese economy growing at 15% per annum. Since then, money has flown strongly back towards general equities and a huge tech flavour. So we know we're sitting right at the extreme end of equities are fascinating the market. For that to swing back towards commodities is something which is expected because we're at an extreme. It's expected because the industry is underinvested in future supply, so commodity prices get a rocket under from that. And we've got an energy transition, which is what the whole world is talking about, and has the characteristics of something that can drive a super cycle in commodities. So if we're ready for that, then the next mining boom looks like it could be a bigger boom than the one that we've just had. It looks like it could be on the scale of a China coming to the market type boom. That's what we're getting ready for. That's why now in line.
A bigger boom than what we've just had. That sounds pretty impressive. Listen, Hedley, thank you so much for being here today and bringing me on the annual general meeting journey for Lion Selection Group. It was great fun. Thanks again.
It was great to have you there, Shay. Thanks very much for the chat.